just fighting through a head cold, and we're going to cut the mast step off today because we want to try and get the mast up as soon as possible, because without the mast being up we can't make the sails or do the enclosure and all of the cloth stuff outside. So try and get the mast up, but first job is to get the mast step cut off, the old one, and then I'm going to bolt the new one in place because it doesn't really need any strength in fore, aft and amidships or port starboard. So I'm just going to drill a hole and bolt it in. But I'm really sick. I probably should be resting.
But we got boat work to do.
We do, and I want to go sailing. I don't want to be in a yard for another 6 weeks.
So Rhys is just fixing the mast plate?
Yep, the deck, well the mast, yeah, the mast step. So I just covered it in Duralac everywhere, and I put a piece of like this rubber under it as well, with a channel cut in the middle of it so that it can drain. And then I'll cut around that and tidy it up, but it'll stop the plate from touching the steel if the paint ever wore away or cracked, and it'll stop the mast plate from rotting, because the foot of the mast is one of the worst places for corrosion, so I spend a lot of money on it, so I want to protect it. So yeah, I'll just finish fitting this, get these last few of the screws in. I'll probably cover these screw holes here with some kind of grease or oil, or grease or Sikflex, just so that there's no water pooling in there. And then that'll be the mast plate finished. Yeah, mast can go on then, pretty much. The last few bits, which is good.
But before we left Ireland, we got given a little token from my dad. So in this little box here is a coin. I'll show you now, if you can see that. And this coin is what, 50 years old?
Oh, it's from the 60s, but your dad got it for his communion, which is like when you, how old are you when you do your communion?
7, 8? It's pretty old coin, and apparently it's good luck to put it under the mast.
Dad's not that old, is he?
No, he's not that old.
But it is 50 years since he was given.
So we're going to put this coin under the mast, and hopefully it won't bring us any bad luck by doing this. It's meant to be good luck.
It's normal tradition, like it's a tradition when you build a new boat to put a coin under the mast step, but there was no coin under this mast because there wasn't a mast, so we're just gonna rechristen it, I suppose. Yeah,
so we'll do the honours?
Yep, we'll put it in here somewhere. Probably glue it to here somewhere. Usually you'd put it like, usually you've got a big mast and it's like a solid wooden mast back in the day, and you put it under the step and the mast would sit down on top of it. But obviously I don't want it here because it'll slip out, so we're gonna epoxy it here or something, I think. Here, I'll put it here.
Yeah, we're hoping that brings us all the luck on our travels. And it's also a piece of home, I guess. Sailing the boat forward. Isn't that right?
Sailing it forward.
Sail
it backwards, are we?
No, we're not going backwards. Go forward on our journey. Good winds and all that jazz. So Rhys is a lovely sunny day here, and Rhys is just doing the final touches to the mast. So tell us what you're doing, Rhys.
I am trying to wire up the antenna, VHF antenna. So you needed to like fit these special connectors. I'll show you there in a sec. They needed just a little bit of soldering and stuff, which is fine. So just using my little soldering kit, which is really handy.
Like little robots, aren't they?
Yeah, it's actually a really handy bit of kit. It's, they're a Swedish make. No, I think it was €40, but it's like you get all these little attachments and stuff, and you can hold stuff.
So let's have a look at this mast.
So I'm out sailing on someone else's boat. Say hi, Steve.
Hiya!
That's the sailmaker, Steve. And we've got something cool going on out here, so we'll show you. A lot of you will know what boat this is, which is cool. There's Puffin, Golden Globe boat, which is cool. With Ian and Jade on board. There we go. There's the two boys. So we're on Fox and Love, which is Steve's boat. It's about 12 knots of breeze today, which is nice. Look at that. Two boats. This is class. Should I be working on my own boat, really, shouldn't I?
Well, Rhys is out sailing for the next 2 nights or so. I'm going to take advantage of having the boat cleared, and I'm going to just take it apart pretty much. So all the car cabinets and stuff like that are going to come off. Anything that needs to be sanded, oiled and varnished, I'm going to do it because we have some blue skies. heat in the air and it's perfect varnish weather, so I'm going to do that. And I'm also going to sand the floors as well, give them a good clean, the cork floor that we put down a while back before we arrived here in Wales, so I'm going to do that. So yeah, it's going to be a weekend of varnishing, which I'm actually excited to do because we were putting it off until we got warmer weather, but we're going to be here a bit longer, so I might as well just get cracking with it. Yeah, so we're going to get going. So I've just spent the morning sanding, oiling and varnishing. Obviously not in that order because the oil has to wait 24 hours. I've like got a load of different jobs that are on different stages of the process. So you can see behind me I've got cupboard doors, front doors, engine covers, galley covers. I've just been taking stuff off really and just getting on with it because we actually have a bit of blue sky behind me. So it's been pretty okay weather, just needs a little bit hotter. Be great to get things to dry, but yeah, so I'll show you now what I'm doing at the moment. So these are the side galley presses, so I've just sanded them down, so they're looking pretty tidy. So I'm gonna now oil these, let them sit overnight, hopefully it doesn't rain, and I will varnish them tomorrow. So 3-step process, and we're using Dex Oile D1 and D2. It's actually really easy to use and really good. So far we've had no issues with it, so yeah, let's get on with it. So I've just sanded all these. There are galley press drawers and they are front doors. So next step is going to be using Dex Oile D1 to just oil them all out. They've already been oiled, so they need a varnish. So this is step 1, oiled, and then I'm going to put varnish on them. So leave them oiled for 24 hours, I think it is, and then we go into the varnish. These are ones I did earlier. The back of them, so you can see the engine doors, and I don't know what that one is, but that's something I had to do anyway.
That's the electrical cabinet door.
And then these have been varnished.
And they're all shiny? Shiny, shiny? There's a bit of fluff on that one.
Oh no, that wasn't there a second ago.
Ruined it.
A fly flew into it earlier as well. I had to pick him out by his legs. This is where I got those shelves that I was sanding and oiling outside. So the next step is I'm going to sand all this back and then try get some oil on it to be able to varnish over the next few days. Yeah, so that's the extended bit of the galley / workshop, and we're going to try work on this space, get this going. Another lovely, really sunny day today in the yard, which is perfect for the next day. All the stuff I've sanded and oiled are ready to be varnished, so I'm just going to do 2 things today. Or no, I have 2 sets of doors and stuff like that to do. So these are the companionway doors, sanded and oiled yesterday. So we're going to pop on some varnish. So behind the scenes of all our good boat work is this.
I'm not a hoarder, okay?
we've decided once and for all to do a big clean up again. So we've taken everything out of the back lockers in the boat, everything, pretty much everything, and we're going to sort everything out. We've already made a little pile of rubbish. He's a hoarder, isn't he? No, rootless. Let's be rootless. So that was our week pretty much. Nothing big or exciting this time, no walking MAST through town. And unfortunately our MAST has got delayed another week or two, hasn't it?
Yeah.
As in the fittings. Obviously
It's assembled and ready to go, but it's just a couple of fittings, that's all.
So yeah, that was our week. Varnishing, sanding, he was fitting MAST stuff.
Yep, getting the MAST ready to go up and all that kind of stuff ready to go. Once the parts come, then we can just get the MAST up and start measuring for sales and stuff like that. So that's kind of holding us up at the moment, but we should be there this week, hopefully. It's
been really good weather there at the moment. Probably too hot for us. We're trying to adjust ourselves, I guess.
It's like 20 degrees and we're melting.
Literally melting.
It's not even that hot.
So it's a good test for us to get ready for France and Spain and all, I guess. But yeah, so nothing too exciting this week. Just a lot of work that we had to get done. And hopefully next time you see us,
yep,
the MAST will be up.
I said that last episode as well.
But again, thanks for all your support. Make sure you subscribe, follow the Instagram, all that.
Yep. We'll leave them go now. We'll let them have their piece.
Yeah. All right.
Bye.